Well, everybody, we've entered into the latest government shutdown, the first time in the last 6 years, and people are asking, how is this going to affect my visa processing or my immigration processing at USCIS? Short answer is it depends. If we're talking about work involving USCIS, so if you've got petitions that are filed there, if you're doing a change of status or an adjustment of status, well, you should not be affected by those issues and by the shutdown with Congress and the federal government, because USCIS is funded not by taxes, but by the fees that they collect for the processing. So the good news is if your case is under review at the Immigration Service, that shouldn't affect things. Now, indirectly, processing might be affected in cases where they might be doing background checks with the FBI, or maybe they're doing some checks with the IRS, and those departments are not able to reply back to USCIS as a result. But again, that's a very, very small percentage of people. So if you've got a case pending with USCIS, the shutdown should not really affect it. Now, let's say you have a visa, you're doing visa processing, consular processing, maybe you're in the process of, you've set up an appointment and you've already had an interview scheduled, or maybe you've just recently paid the fees, or maybe you're earlier in the process, you've gotten the approval from USCIS, but you were just planning to start the process with the consulate. How does that affect things? Well, the consulates are going to be more directly affected by the shutdown. They will shut down non-essential services. So in the first and foremost, that will mean they will shut down or severely curtail non-essential visa services like tourist visas and stuff like that, and tourist visa interviews. So you can expect those to be put on hold or possibly even canceled until government budget crisis gets resolved. So if you don't have anything scheduled, believe me, there's going to be big delays. If you do have an interview scheduled or ready, then they are most likely to go forward with it. We'll continue with those interviews that are scheduled. Like I said, if they haven't been scheduled, they're going to put a hold on all new possible schedulings, and that would affect you in that situation. In addition, if you've already had your interview and you're just waiting for the visa stamp for them to put the visa into the passport, that should also proceed as normal as it normally would despite the shutdown. So again, if you've also gone through the visa interview, just waiting for the stamp or the approval and stuff like that, generally that should go forward as expected. However, again, because of all kind of the chaos that's created by the government shutdown, delays are quite likely. By the way, if you have a case that's pending before immigration court, all the courts for the most part are shut down, with the exception of cases involving custody and or deportations and stuff like that. But again, we really don't deal too much with that. But yes, the courts are all being shut down well. So hang in there. Budget problems come up periodically. This is not the first government shutdown due to this. Generally, they last maybe a couple weeks, and then the politicians come to some kind of understanding and renew things. So we're expecting, probably time in October, sooner rather than later, this will all get resolved and things should be going forward and business as usual. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us directly here at AmLaw Group so we can assist you in your transition to the U.S.